Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to explore Neville Goddard's teachings, specifically the fundamentals being self-observation, definition of aim, and detachment, and how they integrate with internal family systems, IFS. Both frameworks center around a core concept, self-concept, which is how you see yourself, how you relate to others, and how you view your world. We'll also dive deeper into how your protective parts and your exiled parts essentially influence your self concept and why healing these parts is key to transformation. So, I'm sharing this today inspired by some self study work I've been doing with self concept and internal family systems. And it's something that I've explored in therapy and coaching. And I see how it helped me, it's helped clients, and it's helped friends. So let's break this down here with firstly, self concept. Your self concept is how you view yourself, others, and the world around you, everything that's in your direct experience. It's shaped by your beliefs, your assumptions, and past experiences, and it plays a central role in how you experience your reality. If your self concept is based on limited beliefs, like feeling unworthy or disconnected, you'll likely see the world through that lens, and your experiences will reflect it. This is where both Neville's teachings and IFS come into play, offering you a way to shift your self concept and transform your reality. So, let's dive into IFS and how it relates to self concept. In IFS, we understand that the mind is made up of different parts, each with its own beliefs, emotions, and behaviors. There are two main types of parts that we need to focus on when healing our self concept. So that's the protective parts and the exiled parts. These parts are often formed in response to trauma or emotional wounds, and they both influence how you see yourself and the world. So, protective parts. These are aspects of ourselves that develop to shield us from pain or emotional harm. These parts often arise from past experiences where we felt vulnerable, unsafe, or maybe rejected. For example, if you were criticized as a child, a protective part may have formed to defend you from criticism by creating an inner critic or a people pleasing behavior. These parts believe that their role is to keep you safe, but they often carry distorted beliefs and can create tension and disharmony within your self concept. So, when we're not aware of these protective parts, they can run the show, influencing our behaviors and reactions in ways that no longer serve us. These parts might cause us to push others away, avoid intimacy, or self sabotage, all in the name of protection. To heal these parts, we need to recognize them, understand their role, and give them a new role that supports our desired self concept and states. This allows us to shift from being reactive to being more aligned with our true self, which is then coming from a responsive, loving place instead of a fearful place. So this is this is really fascinating work. And when a part comes up that's protecting you, you take that time to hear, see, and validate that part because it's very real to them. And if you just ignore it, it's not going away. It's going to come back and it's going to bite you in the ass. So just give it the love and care that it needs and do the work. This is a form of revision, and revision is forgiveness. I've done videos on this before. You can find those in my first Law of Assumption playlist. There's a lot of videos there. So now the second protective part that I'm going to talk about is exiled parts. But essentially, protective parts are keeping the exiled part suppressed and shielded from being felt and experienced. So these are more, they could be reactive. That's more firefighters, though, which I didn't want to get into. But firefighters will react to prevent the exiled part from being known and experienced, and it will do it at whatever cost. But we're not going to get into details there. If you want to know more about that, please leave a comment and I will do another video about that. So, exiled parts are parts of ourselves that carry emotional pain, trauma, or unresolved feelings. These parts were often pushed away or hidden because they felt too overwhelming or painful to process at the time. For instance, if you experienced neglect or abandonment, an exiled part might carry the feelings of loneliness or unworthiness that were too difficult to face. And maybe you didn't have parents that validated you or supported you or reassured you in those times that you needed that. So over time, these exiled parts can distort our self concept, making us feel disconnected, undeserving, or like something is wrong with us. Exiled parts often carry the key to healing and transformation. When we bring these parts back into the fold, acknowledge their pain, and help them heal, we can then integrate them into our self concept in a healthier way. This process often requires compassion and detachment from the old self concept that was built around the pain these exiled parts carried. So, this doesn't have to be forceful or hard, it can be very gentle and nourishing. So, how do protective and exiled parts relate to Neville's teachings? Let's see how these parts fit into that. And I'm going to focus on the fundamentals of the law, which is again self observation, definition of aim, and detachment, and how healing them can shift your self concept. So, self observation. In Neville's teachings, self observation is the practice of becoming aware of thoughts, feelings, and reactions without judgment. This is crucial for recognizing the protective and exiled parts of yourself. So, when you observe your thoughts and reactions, you can identify when a protective part is triggered or when an exiled part is causing you to feel disconnected or unworthy. Once you recognize these parts, you can separate from them and begin to heal them, shifting your self concept. And it's about becoming unburdened and unblended and basically providing those parts of you with a different experience so they don't feel like they have to do that anymore. Coming from your true self, your highest self, your divine self, your I am. So, your definition of aim for Neville, defining your aim is about knowing who you want to be and embodying that person in the present moment, living from your end. This is where healing your protective and exiled parts is essential. If your self concept is influenced by unhealed trauma or limiting beliefs, it will be difficult to align with your desired aim. However, by working with IFS to heal these parts, you can shift your self concept and basically match the person you want to be and align with who you want to be. Become what you desire to be without resistance, without this voice in your head telling you no, or yes, you can have this, no, you can't have this, which is disharmony. So, if you're aiming to embody confidence and self worth, you must first heal the protective parts that defend against vulnerability and the exiled parts that feel unworthy. And then detachment in Neville's teachings is about letting go of the old self concept, the parts of that were based on in fear, for example, and the limiting beliefs that no longer serve you. This is a crucial part of healing the protective and exiled parts. By unblending from these parts, meaning separating your true self from the protective and exiled parts, you can detach from the old stories and beliefs that have shaped your reality. This allows space for the new self concept to emerge, one that is aligned with your desires and your higher self. So, healing your protective and exiled parts is a powerful way to transform your self concept and to align with the person you want to become. So, by integrating Neville's teachings of the fundamentals, and using it with IFS, you can create a holistic approach to manifestation and personal growth. As you heal and integrate these parts, your self concept shifts and you begin to see yourself, others, and the world through a new and empowered lens. So, you don't have to do this process. It's just one way that may be helpful. And if it resonates, give it a go. It's helped me a lot. It's definitely triggered me in some ways on my journey, but I really feel more liberated and more confident to be in my true self, capital S, and noticing when there's parts of me that want to be protective and when there's the exiled parts trying to come through because I did have a lot of trauma in my life. I've endured a lot. I've made it out on the other side and I've done a lot of work, but also honoring that there's many parts that make up the whole. And I love those parts and I don't resist them anymore, but also they don't run the show. Those monkeys are in the back seat and I'm driving my bus. So, thank you for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on healing, self concept, manifestation, but all things law of assumption at the foundation and core of what I do here. And I look forward to seeing you guys again in the next video. Much love.